My name is Chris Walsh.
Laura Lee Van Vliet.
Joseph Manzi.
Brian McHugh.
Trisha Walsh.
Rosie Woods.
Matt and Kelly O'Connell.
I am a father of 3 children who have cystic fibrosis.
I have 4 daughters, and my twins have cystic fibrosis.
My name is Brittany.
My name is Luke.
This is Brady O'Connell.
My name is Amanda.
I am Sophie Miller.
My name is Colin Walsh, and I have cystic fibrosis.
Cystic fibrosis is a fatal genetic disease caused by an abnormality in a protein called the cystic fibrosis transmembrane conductance regulator.
The lungs and the digestive system are slowly deteriorating and get clogged.
It affects the lungs by creating more mucus, which is thicker and harder to get rid of.
It affects every single thing I do. It affects the way I eat. It affects the way I sleep. It affects the way I interact with people.
It's pain.
I think the common challenges of dealing with cystic fibrosis are the daily medicines and the daily treatments that we have to do to make sure that they stay as healthy as they can be.
The routine is pretty intense. It starts every morning with nebulized treatments,
which take about 15 minutes. The vest, which can take 30 minutes, that's twice a day.
The vest goes around your chest and it vibrates and percusses at the same time. So it keeps the mucus on your lungs loose so that you are able to cough it out. Without that, it gets thick and it gets stuck, and then you get pneumonia and you end up in the hospital.
Taking time for a 10-year-old, taking time out of your regular routine is a pretty big deal.
One of the other attributes of cystic fibrosis is a malabsorption of food.
Before I take any meal, I've never been able to eat a meal without taking pills. I can't even imagine what that's like.
He's always going to have to take his enzymes with his food because, his pancreas has already, been impacted by the disease.
Some children with cystic fibrosis cannot grow with eating alone.
We have these things in our stomach called G-tubes, and there's a little cap on it that you can open, and then there's a special serum that lets us gain weight by it, and so we take it every night.
We have to come home and crush the enzymes that go in the feeding tube and feed it and get it all ready to go and make sure that he's had all his medicine and all his treatments.
We both hate doing treatments. It takes up our time.
If a friend's complaining about something that seems so insignificant to you because you go through so much dealing with CF, and they don't know that and they can't understand that.
You can't socialize with people like others because of the risk of getting their colds, getting sick from people who don't realize that they're sick.
Your parents and your families around you trying to help you, and it means so much that they're there. It truly does, but having CF, it's a lonely disease.
The Cystic Fibrosis Foundation has always been so key in keeping the patients with cystic fibrosis informed about everything that's going on.
So many would not be here today if it wasn't for the foundation.
I'm proud that they are a foundation that's, spending 90 cents on the dollar for research.
We had heard of this drug coming out, and then we later heard that Luke was a candidate for the drug.
VX-770 is now called ivacaftor.
Luke is living proof that our efforts have paid off.
It takes a lot of research, it takes a lot of time, it takes a lot of trials and tests. But I can now see results, real results, are being derived.
We're so close to finding a cure.
But unfortunately, he's only 5%. He's got 2 cousins and the other 95%. And we're going to continue to fight till we find the same drug for them.
It's the time to accelerate.
We work every day with the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation to put the resources together to develop, discover drugs that will one day lead to a cure of cystic fibrosis.
When I was diagnosed at 6 months old, I was not supposed to live to be 3. And now I'm 50.
If all those people back, that were born 50 years ago had said, forget it, we don't see the hope, where would we be? So it takes everybody.
People that work for that foundation are tireless. They are, like I've said, they're my heroes. I It's the only time I get emotional, I'm sorry.
My 3 children, they are Eric, and he was born in May of 1974. He would have been 37 now, but he didn't quite make it. And he passed away on April 8th of 2005.
Oh, sometimes I feel like I'm tap dancing as fast as I can to save my kid's life, to raise the money to find a cure.
My 2 other children are Jennifer and Lisa, are also battling and struggling, trying to overcome the difficulties of dealing with cystic fibrosis.
This is all the hope we have. We have to rely on the money raised to go to these drug companies to find research to get the drugs for our son and all of the other people with cystic fibrosis.
Join us in continuing the fight till everyone, the other 95%, 100% of children with CF, no longer have to deal with what we've gone through.
From the bottom of all of our hearts, we cannot thank you enough.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you to everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you all for everything you have done, and thank you all for giving us hope.
Because of the generous people that donate, cystic fibrosis is the next disease that can be cured.